For the moment, I want to talk about how plant identification in one place can help you identify the same family or subspecies in another place. Okay? So, right now I want to talk about the genus Rumex. Now, Rumex is in the buckwheat family. The buckwheat family is also known scientifically as the polygonacea family. What else is in the polygonacea family? Your smartweed and your broadleaf plantain. When I say plantain, I'm not talking about the banana family. I'm talking about the green leafy. Alright. It has a little deal that comes up like that. Now, within that family, we want to talk about the Rumex today. Alright. Now, in most parts of the world, the Rumex is a biennial plant. That means it takes 2 years to complete its life cycle, from germination to death. Alright, and in the first year of growth, this plant develops a basal rosette of leaves. A basal rosette just means low until the low bottom or to the ground, lowest. The rosette is just a circular formation. Dandelion leaves grow in the basal rosette. Burdock leaves grow in the basal rosette. Kale grows in the basal rosette. Okay? That's its first year of growth, and the leaves are like the long spear tips that the Maasai use in Kenya. If you ever seen these spears, they're very similar to how the leaves of Rumex looks. Alright, that's the first year of growth. Get your basal rosette, long, broad spear type leaves. And in your second year, from the root, a taproot, which the Rumex have taproots. Some of them here in America have a forked taproot system, and from there you have your raceme that grows up with your stalk that grows from the root in the middle of the basal rosette leaf. It goes straight up, and then it can grow up to 3 feet, and on the top of that you have a cluster of flowers. The way that these flowers are arranged on there, we call that an inflorescent. A set of flowers is inflorescent. Okay, and these flowers are hermaphrodite. They fertilize themselves and they develop a fruit or a seed. Okay, and at the end of the season, the calyx, or the covering around the seed, turns a rich red, reddish brown, bright color. Okay, that's a signal that that plant is at its end stages. Okay, so why am I talking about this subspecies? Because I'm watching a program looking to some information in northern Ethiopia in the Tigray region, and I find the people there using Rumex under the name Rumex abyssinicus. Rumex abyssinicus, culturally known there, locally known as mokoko, and the people there use it from shit to stomach problems and wound healing, all the way to things like diabetes and tuberculosis, which is still a problem there. And the research articles that I read, the studies, the research that's been done on this plant, on this genus that's been put out, that you can go get the articles on, the whole articles, you see that when the researchers go to this area, Ethiopia, they'll pull out Like they'll find about 20 healers in that area, and then they'll interview them and get a breakdown on their plant repertoire. You know, and out of the healers, you know, one healer may use this plant that another one doesn't use. That healer may use a plant that this one doesn't use. But one of the plants that they all had was the Momoko or the Rumex abyssinicus. And again, there's others that they all had, but right now we're talking about Rumex. Okay. And as I'm watching this program, I'm like, dog, I know this plant. I at least know this subspecies, because here in America we got the Rumex crispus, also known as Yellowdock, and here in America we know Yellowdock is very good for anemia because of its high amount of iron. It also contains more phosphorus than opposed to the abyssinicus, which has more potassium than phosphorus, but both having a predominant mineral content of iron. Now, that's that. The Rumex crispus and the Rumex abyssinicus. But we also find in the Rumex abyssinicus, it has like a resinous anthraquinone called, what the fuck is it called? Emodin. And emodin is like a resinous purgative type of chemical, and the people of that area in Ethiopia do use this plant as a purgative. And what we also find out about emodin is that it is effective against diabetes, which the people there also use it for. Here in America, you find the anthraquinone glycosides that are responsible for Yellowdock sending you to the bathroom. Okay? And when you remove the root of the Rumex crispus or the Yellowdock, you see it has a yellow tint to it. And if you break it in half, there's rings, like inner rings within the root, and those rings are like a deep yellow. Like, it's really cool. And you can see why the natives use that plant as a dye plant as well, but I find it more useful as a medicinal plant. Okay, so Rumex crispus, Rumex abyssinicus, both Rumex, both in the polygonacea family, two different environments. That's why you need to know the character states and characteristics of this genus, because if you see a plant that looks similar to the Rumex and you see that it has up to a 3-foot stalk, inflorescent flowers, leaves of the plant may even look similar, but it has an adventitious root system, that means you don't have a Rumex, and you shouldn't use that plant for any type of consumption until you properly ID it. Let's say you have the inflorescence, let's say you have the taproot this time, but let's just say you have oblong, ovate leaves forming an alternate formation up to stem, a staggered formation up to stem. That means that's not Rumex. Let's say you got the taproot, you got the correct leaves, but you got a flower that's reminiscent of a flower in the aster family. Aster family includes like sunflowers and dandelions, fleabane. If that's the case, you don't have a Rumex. Okay? So, when I seen the plant in Ethiopia, I've never been to Ethiopia, I seen it. I seen the program, then I looked up that plant on the internet, okay? and it has the taproot, it has the leaves, it has the flower, and a couple other characteristics. Because you can have a genus in one part of the planet, and then the same genus in another part of the planet. But you know, like humans, plants have family that are further removed by environment and time. So you may have a character in North America that looks totally different than the characteristic in Southern Asia. It may be extremely exaggerated, or the growth pattern may be different. Instead of being biennial, it may be annual. Pay attention to, okay? And like, it's not that tough. It ain't that difficult. And I think it's only, I know plant science is not for everyone. It don't do it for everyone like it does for me. It's not everyone's passion. I understand that. But in this renaissance of information we got going on here, I think it's only fair that I share what I learned with you all, especially seeing some of the weird ass shit that's out in black conscious land nowadays. And this information here is not just for the black conscious community, it's for the black community. Because applicable sciences is what's going to get our family up out of this thing, okay? And I just don't mean the health sciences, the biological sciences. I mean the economic sciences, the social sciences, the political sciences, the technological sciences, okay? That's what's going to do it for us, not the pseudosciences, family, okay? I say that respectfully, because I came from a household of nothing but doctrine, some of the coldest doctrine you can get, and I still end up falling through the cracks being in the neighborhood, okay? And only now am I figuring things out. So you got the Rumex, being able to identify it in your own backyard, and what makes that genus, you can be dropped off in the middle of northern Ethiopia and still find that plant. Okay, there may be some slight variations, but just how certain properties make up carbon or gold or silver, certain characteristics make up those atoms, certain characteristics make up these plants, okay? And if you can identify the family or a genus in one place, you can do it in another, okay? So what do we do from here? You go in your backyard, you find a plant that interests you, and you observe it. You observe its growth patterns, and in each each pattern you observe its character states, because a plant is going to look, in each phase of its life is going to have different characteristics. That's what they're called, character states, okay? And you can put that shit to work, because this here ain't no faking the funk. It's either this or it's that. Like, ain't no in-betweens, you know? So Botany and Black, Blue Hill, the Suit Wong, signing off, family.